Hey Harrison, how's it going?
Hey, Daryl. Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's Friday, ready to get going.
Absolutely.
What are you up to today? You have any plans?
I got home from work and I slept till I don't even know I slept, and then I got back from the gym and then gonna make some dinner and go to bed early. I'm hosting Father's Day on Sunday, so
Ah, very
for my
nice, very
girl
nice.
family. So it'll be a pretty big party here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I know you're really busy. Thanks for hopping on Friday night. But I guess we'll just get started.
Yeah, great.
Uh, awesome. I guess can you just introduce yourself, like what your like background is?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Harrison, 29 years old. Uh, as far as background goes, I'm a fireman. I work a lot. I'm odd hours, very busy. Really enjoy my job. So I know a lot of people are using this program to maybe leave a job or find that kind of independence. And for me, I really love going to work in my job. So I was looking for an education and just learning financial skills to pretty much compound the money that I had saved. So um, this really, I guess, struck a chord in me, your program, and excuse me, struck a chord in me, and just I was able to relate to kind of what you were putting out there, and it worked really well with me with my schedule because it's pretty no nonsense. There's a program, there's a strategy, and if you stick to it, you're going to get results, and it's just about maintaining that discipline, which goes along with kind of the how I live my life outside of the financial aspect to it, but just kind of everything. So um, it's worked really well for me.
Awesome, awesome. What was your experience, by the way, prior to like this? Were you ever in the stock market? Were you trading, investing?
I wasn't trading. I did have stocks. I do have stocks that I still have that I have kind of set aside
Mhm.
that have done fine. Uh, I've kind of revisited those too after kind of getting an education here and revisited those, but uh, no, excuse me, no experience trading. Uh, Little to no experience on understanding everything I learned in the program as far as financials and analytics and analyzing stocks and undervalued stocks. Really, no understanding or experience of that. Just a very, I'd say, basic understanding of the stock market, and that I would say that's about it.
Yeah, so pretty much pretty fresh. No, barely any experience in the stock market.
Very fresh, very fresh. Yeah.
Got it. I know you touched on it briefly, but can you delve a little bit more about like why like long wealth or even joining this mentorship was intrigued you?
Absolutely. So when you start, and I'm sure you know this, and everyone else who's kind of gone down this rabbit hole is this, when you start becoming interested in a topic, especially in the digital age, and you start looking things up on your phone, you're going to be bombarded, right, with different ads and different things. Because every time we get a new update on our iPhone, every time we
Yeah,
download some new software, we agree to the user agreement, right? And that user agreement, basically, you're agreeing to sell your information. And a lot of it is good, right? If you're looking up things that would benefit your life, you're going to get a lot of ads and things thrown at you that are positive, right? But even in those things that seem positive, there's a lot of uh, people selling snake oil out there, as I put it. So
a lot.
for
Yeah.
me, I feel like I have a good sense of who's trying to sell me snake oil. I think that there's a lot of people, I was getting a lot of ads, right, for people, they weren't using the phrase get rich quick, but that's essentially what they were advertising. And anytime someone's doing that, it's an instant, next for me, because that is obviously possible for a very few lucky people. But if you want to actually learn a skill and apply that skill, that's not the principle that you're going to succeed with. So when I saw your advertisements, it was no nonsense. You were not trying to really convince anyone of any sort of prophecy or imagination or some kind of grand scheme. It was very much like, here's what I did, here's what I want you to do. and it's not get rich quick. But if you apply principles, and again, I think I've talked with you about this before, it's really, that's what drew me into it, was you were talking about the principles behind the success, which is the discipline, which is not giving into the fear mongering, which is staying consistent. So that's what drew me to it, because I saw that you weren't, for lack of a better word, full of it. So um, after doing the initial course, also, going through all the modules, it took me maybe, a week or two to go through all them. And some of them I did a couple times a lot of them I did a couple times just to fully understand them and dive back into them. But especially after going through that, I was like, okay, well, this is definitely worthwhile and something I trust. So it was a no-brainer after starting the program, for sure.
Got it. Appreciate the nice words. But can you speak about a lot of your successes or just your experience in the program while you were in it?
Yeah. So for me, well, in the program, I was taking notes, and I did it. Like I said, I did a lot of the modules multiple times. And it wasn't even that you did a great job, by the way, presenting them and making them digestible for people. But
Thank you.
when it's something that's new to you, you got to do it a couple times sometimes if you really want to grasp it. And then also when you proceed through the program, it's good to go back also to refresh the things that maybe you did a few days ago, because then it kind of all ties together and it makes sense, right? So my experience was very positive. I didn't buy or apply the strategy for probably a few weeks after finishing the program, just kind of sitting and doing more research and not trying to rush. Because again, like before this program, I remember years ago, I'm 29 now, I probably bought some crypto when I was 20, 21, right? No idea what I was doing. Just thought, hey, there's some hype here. Maybe I'll make some money. And I ended up making some money and then losing some money and then just got out even. But um, my experience here has been very good because I've taken gains on a few trades already. And then I also have two stocks right now that based off of what I've learned from the program and what I'm learning is based off of that, I think that they're going to do well in the long term in the next few months or maybe even longer than that. But the biggest thing is that I'm okay with that and that I don't have fear of losing money because, what do you know? 2 days ago, those stocks and a lot of the stock market went down. And so when I was mentioning, when I was 20 buying crypto, I very much may well have sold my stake in these stocks so that I wouldn't lose all my money. But that's because I didn't have the confidence behind what I was doing. And right now I do have that confidence. So it's the opposite now. I'm potentially going to dollar cost average, buy more potentially, or just let it sit, be patient, and not give in to the fear of, oh, there's been 2 red days in a row. I've lost maybe, and I shouldn't even say I've lost. The stocks have gone down maybe 10% total, but that's not a reason to get out, which is the total opposite paradigm that I used to have. So it's been a very positive experience. And I've already, yeah, like I said, I've already made some money and plan on making more money on the two stocks that I still have sitting there.
Excellent. Could you go over some of the profits you were able to get? I know you started off pretty much on a pretty great streak. Now you're holding on to some ones that you're going to be holding on for a little bit longer. But can you talk about the ones that are realized? You pretty much sold those. You're moving on to the next play.
Yeah. Do you want me to say the actual stock?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm pulling up my account right now. There was a few. I know I took profits on Tesla twice.
Yeah.
Tesla, obviously, like we've seen, moves a lot based on the news. Like that's what I've noticed and learned in this program a lot is that Tesla, especially just based on the news and what they're putting out there, moves 5 to 10% on the daily, which is
Yeah.
pretty crazy when you think about it. Because if you're trading with, a little bit of money, that's a substantial profit. So I took profits on that. I took profits on, I think I took like 7% on, it was Nike. And then I'm looking right now, there was one more, but basically I think I took 12% on Tesla once, 7% on Tesla once, and then 7% on Nike.
Very good.
Which, without getting into the numbers, but that was very good for me. And then I have 2 other stocks right now that I could have sold for a decent profit, but I really do believe that the upside is bigger than what it got up to, and I was fine with letting it sit, and so that's where I'm at right now.
Got it. Got it. I know you pretty much don't want to get into the numbers, but I know you put a pretty substantial amount. You made decent profit on this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. Yeah, absolutely. And it's all relative, but for
Mhm.
me, probably the average person, it's a good amount for me. But again, that goes back to the confidence behind actually learning a skill and understanding what you're doing. And it doesn't, obviously when you put money in the stock market, it's always a risk, always. But when you have kind of the knowledge or you're learning a skill and you have confidence behind that, it's a lot easier on your nerves because you are implementing a strategy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much what I've been preaching to like everybody, right? To be able to be consistently profitable, you're not able to reliably predict where that exact bottom in the stock is. And by you doing your fundamental research as well as combining with the technicals, just even the fundamental aspect of it, when the stock falls, you understand the stock is undervalued. You pretty much is reason enough for you to dollar cost average to then pretty much sell for profits. But that's pretty much what you ended up doing with a lot of your plays.
Absolutely. And I know there was one more. I'm trying to find it. It's my memory is so bad. But there was one more. I'm trying to even figure it out on my account here, but regardless, yeah, it's been very good.
Very nice. Can you speak a little bit about, because you're very busy, obviously. Can you speak about like the time commitment it took to get into these trades or do your research into these trades or just overall the mentorship? What was the time commitment?
The time commitment, like overall, or
Yeah, because for others they may seem like, hey, I'm too busy to get into the stock market. But you obviously you have crazy hours. Can you speak more about why that shouldn't be like an issue for the majority of people?
yeah, it really wouldn't. It's never an issue if you trust it and you believe it's going to be good for you. But I implore people to do their own research. I've talked to guys at work who've looked at this and are interested, and I really implore people to do their own research because if you believe in something and you think it's going to be good, you're going to find a way to do it. That's pretty much the bottom line.
Hmm.
So yes, I'm busy, but really everyone's busy, and so if you think something's going to be beneficial for you, you're going to find a way to do it, and that's what happens. So it's not like it's consuming my life. I've
Hmm.
been given through the program tools and the ability to research and um, apps on your phone and on the computer that are really user friendly, right? So that you could do that research and uh, gain knowledge on stocks and the right positions to enter and exit into. So as far as time commitment, it wasn't crazy. I definitely did a deep dive into it and spent a lot of time. But again, that's because I knew that it was something that was beneficial for me, but it was definitely doable, especially if you're working a 9 to 5. This isn't something you need to come home from your 9 to 5 and spend 8 hours doing. This is like just maybe trying to stay consistent, right? And every day just trying to learn something new or knock out some of those modules and really study them. It's not going to take forever. It's just that it's more about the consistency of it than really the overall time,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I know you haven't have too much experience with like the stock market and all that, but can you speak a little bit more about like what did you like about like the strategy exactly? You went a little bit into it, but can you delve a little bit deeper into that?
Absolutely. So, like, yeah, like what I kind of touched on a little bit was like it not being like a get rich quick scheme, or even like, you see people, or when I was going through this, I would get ads for people that are like, I'm going to sell you my um, calls or whatever they're doing. And it's like, well, you're not learning a skill there. You're just paying someone, you're basically paying a financial advisor who doesn't really also probably know what they're doing that well. So, um, what I liked was that I'm able to go through these modules, learn the skill, and then actually apply it. So um, it's just a lot different than anything you've seen, and that's what resonated with me was that we're you're not preaching, hey, we're gonna all become millionaires by 2025. When I hear someone that's saying, hey, we're gonna be in this for the long haul. We're going to try and take 5 to 10% profit and then compound that. That shows me, one, you know what you're talking about, because I think that's something that's overlooked a lot, is just the power of compounding interest, or the power of compounding profits, right? Because every time you compound it, it's more. And then 5% of 1,000 is a lot less than 5% of 2,000, you know? So you just keep taking those small steps without getting greedy. And over time and consistency, you're going to have success. So that's what resonated with me the most.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I guess lastly, thank you so much for your time. Would you recommend this program to anybody? Who would you recommend it to? Could you delve a little more into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd recommend this to anybody who, I mean, I think everybody should have knowledge of their finances, right? The stock market. Um, Maybe it's not for 100% of people, but it's definitely, if they want to do it, anyone can do it, right? So I've talked to coworkers about it that are interested. Um, a lot of people need to see the results of other people before they'll jump in. So I've actually like showed like, hey, look, because I was telling people about it before I even saw results, because I really knew, and this goes back to just, I feel like I have a good gauge of who is full of it and who's not. And I was showing people before I even had results. But then once I got results, then a couple people started actually becoming interested. So really anyone can do this. It's not rocket science. It's just consistency and discipline. So you don't have to be a genius. I'm definitely not. But I do have the ability to show up and be consistent and be disciplined. So I think it's for anybody that thinks that they could do those two things.
Awesome. Harrison, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing pretty much your experience throughout this whole thing. And I'm excited for your future. Just
Thank
keep
you.
killing it all year, and let's keep growing.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, Harrison. Any help you need, just reach out to me, all right?
Thank you.